Yo, YouTube. How's it going, y'all? It's been a minute since I dropped a video, but today I wanted to drop a video on the platform that I use to make my tradings happen and how and where my journey began. And this video has been long overdue. I have the sheet, the paper, everything ready and set it up. I just left it there and never decided to do it. So today's the day that I created and show y'all what platform I use to do and make trading happen. This platform that I use is called Tradovate. It's where I started. It's where the journey began. I first learned this platform through a YouTuber called Tradovate. If you guys don't know him, he's a content creator that teaches about day trading, and that's where I actually put everything into one thought, and I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. So here we are with Tradovate. When you first begin, the screen's gonna seem like a lot is happening. It's like you're playing Tetris, 1,000 miles per hour. That's unrealistic, but it's just a hypothetical situation. But when you do end up creating the account, or you try a free trial, first thing you're gonna see is chaos. So what I'm here to do is just make a quick tutorial video on how to create your workspace. Well, I'm gonna show you what my workspace is essentially. So boom, I'm gonna log in real quick.
1 hour later.
2 hours later.
3 hours later.
Eventually.
Okay, so now that I've logged in, you're gonna see three things. Those three things are live trading, market replay, and simulation. What I use is obviously live trading to trade with my actual money, and simulation is to trade with the money that's given to you, that's being simulated for. The market replay I don't use, just because for me it lacks the authenticity of when you are testing out your strategy and your trades. It just, for me, it doesn't really fit me. But would I ever go and mess around with it? Eventually down the line, most likely will do. But as of right now, I enjoy the thrill of having to trade live, because I don't know, it just feels better to me. So I'm gonna go into the simulation section, and we are going to see this right here. As of right now, there's no chaos. You're just seeing the graph or the chart. You're seeing the chart, the indices, markets, and from the bottom right of your screen, you're seeing the positions you could be in, pause.
What do you mean by that?
The orders you have, and the performance center. And then on the bottom left of the screen, you could see your indices, your markets. In order to get to this screen, I'm gonna show you what it looks like from the very beginning. So from the very get-go of the beginning, you will be introduced to this. This is totally BS crap, and you don't want to trade in this. Okay, you don't want to trade in this. So everything right now, the market is closed. Today's Sunday. Market won't open on Sundays. It won't open until 6 p.m. and everything is just on a pause, all frozen. So this is what you're gonna do for educational purposes. On the left side of the screen, this is what you call a super dome. All it is just numbers going up and down. If you go to the setting and do all of the above, what I'm doing right now, it'll show you the volume of the market, the numbers, and everything. We're gonna close the super dome. We're gonna close this chart. I don't use this. I'm gonna close this chart. I'm gonna close this chart. I'm gonna close this chart. I'm gonna close this chart, and I'm gonna close this chart. what I'm going to leave is I'm gonna leave two things on the right side of the screen. I'm gonna leave orders and positions, and on the left side of the screen I'm gonna go and add a market, and I'm gonna double click on it, and I'm gonna change the name to micro. Now essentially what micro is, it's just indices, but the micro version of it, meaning that, once again, for education purposes, indices and micro, all micro is a little brother to indices. Indices is like the regular market, and micro is the little market, meaning you could trade with little money to convert it into big money, or the opposite could happen. So now that I've created this, I fix these towards my liking. The reason why these are orange is because I don't have the market data subscription to these specific ones. But if they're white, you have, or I have, the subscription towards it. So the markets that I trade, and if you do come down here, before I move any further, if you do come down here, you will see the micro sections of things. You can either do two things. You can click and drag it. Well, no, you can't. No. Okay. I guess that's not an option. So right there and then, the name is right in front of you. All you're gonna do is you go under the micro section, and you would copy the name of the micro version of the regular markets. So all you're going to do, or as of right now, all I'm going to do is put M, and then I will put the market's abbreviated name. So if it's ESM5, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna put MES5, and then boom, micro shows up. Micro S&P 500 shows up. Now I'm gonna go to the next, NASDAQ 100. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna see NQM5. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna put MNQ, and it's gonna pop up, and you're gonna see it right here. NASDAQ 100 shows up. Micro NASDAQ 100 shows up, and I'm gonna repeat the same process for the other one. MYM shows up, and that's that for the indices. Pretty much that is it. Now I know other trades happen during the market, so I don't have the stock market data available to me, and I've never attempted it, but I don't try to actively day trade stocks, but I don't know if it's an option either, because I never attempted it, or I never looked into it. The next categories that I've attempted and did trade would be gold on the metals section, and essentially I'm going to repeat the same process. I'm going to go into the metal, and I see how that is. So the abbreviated name for it is MGCM5. So I go under the micro section, MGC, and boom, appears. It goes into the bottom. Now currencies, you would have to have a broker to change. Like Tradovate is for futures, like commodities of meat, metal, softs, what else? Energies. Those are that's what Tradovate is for. Ask me why Tradovate has these right there. I do not know why they have it there, but they have it there. Maybe for the marketing of the platform, or just to make it look fancy. But all Tradovate, the platform of Tradovate is for us to trade futures. What was that? Yes, all of this for is to trade futures. Now the next step to do after you create your list. Oh, I didn't even put. Oh, yes, energies. I know people also trade natural gas, crude oil, and other things on this list, but what I mostly trade is crude oil and natural gas. So I'm gonna go to the micro section, and I'm going to put MNGM5. MNG5. Boom. That's one down, and then I'm gonna put crude oil. So I'm gonna put MCLM5. MCLM5. Boom. I do want to make a quick correction. So from out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of the 10 markets title that are up there, not including the micro, out of the 9 markets that are up there, when I put micro, essentially all micro is doing is just pulling out the little version of them. And the best way I could describe it is so when you look at the market, you are required to have a standard day margin of $500 just to trade in the market. And if you are a baller, before I got rudely interrupted with a bark, just to trade in the market, you need $500. Now, essentially, for example, if you have $500 on your live account, you can't take a trade. You have to have $500 and above to take the trade. You would need $550 to take the trade. But the moment you do end up making that click, that one trade, each tick value is worth, if it goes up one, it's worth $12.50. If it goes down one, it's worth $12.50. So meaning that if you press buy and the market is going up, it's on the green bar, you're making money. But if you press buy and it's red, you're losing money. The bar is red, you're losing money. But if you if you press sell and the market is going down and it's red, you're making money. But if the market is green, you're losing money. That is the best way as possible I could explain it. Now, when you come down to micro section, all you need is a standard day margin of $50. You need $50 to trade, and vice versa again. You need $50 to be in the market, but you need $50 plus to make a trade. So for the purpose of the video, if I had $50 and okay, so if it was $70, you put $70, $50 is to be in the market, and that $20 is to make a trade. So essentially you need a standard day margin of 50 and $20 to make a trade happen. $20 or plus, whatever you want to do to make that happen. And the tick value, whether it goes up or down, is worth $1.25. And as you gain more experience, you can go into the market and you can go in with 2 contracts, and all the contract essentially does is, if it's like one contract, it's worth $1.25, but if it's 2 contracts, it's pretty much $1.25. Add that up, that's what, like $3, I think. I can't do quick math on top of my head, but the more contract you have, if it's 3, 4, 5 contracts, it doubles or triples or quadruple or just multiplies what you got. So boom. Now you want to go to the top left of your screen, and you get several options. You get market analyzer, Superdome, which I showed in the beginning of the video. Positions. This right here is important. TS, I never dabble in it. Pulse, I've messed around with it. All it does, it tells you whether a market is good to buy or to sell, but you can how do I describe this? You can predict whether the market goes up based on the knowledge of what you already know, just know I don't dabble with it. It's a long process of explaining. Options chains, I never dabble in option chains. Log, never. Chat, news, those are on your top right side of your screen. Chart, I'm about to show you how to create it without having to click and drag it from here. Orders, order tickets, I think I X'd out of those on the right side of the screen. The spread matrix, never used it. Code editor, never used it. Reports, never used it. Accounts, never used it. Legacy charts, never used it. But one important one that I do use is positions, which is already over here. Okay. Another important one would be trade performance. Trade performance is such a helpful way for you to analyze your winning and losing trades, your profit and lose history. You know, it shows you a pie chart that is either red or green, and it'll show you like how much money you've made, how much money you've lost, and it's just a smooth it's a very helpful tool. Now that I've shown you all three of these, now let's get to the part where we create the chart. So now when you are creating the chart, you want to go and hover your mouse over the market you want to create the chart for, and you're going to left click it. Now when you left click, you get these options. You get the insert header, code info, alerts, trade, delete, roll forward, roll backward, superdome, charts, and TS. I never personally mess around with the insert header. All the quote does is tells you the type of market, the indice, you know, it just gives you basic background information of the market. Alerts, you can, you know, I've tried using alerts and I don't really use it, but you can essentially set alerts to let you know when the market is hitting a certain zone or price level drop down or whatever. Trade, I don't dabble in that either because I like seeing my trades being done in front of me. I want to manually see it being done. And delete, obviously, if you left click and you know you want to delete a market that you don't use no more, you can delete it. Roll forward and roll backward. So I think every I'm not sure, I'm not really sure on it, but I think it's every 6 months, 3 to 6 months, a market gets rolled forward. So like in I just lost thought process. Every 3 to 6 months a market gets rolled over, and if you don't want to wait for that, you can roll forward. You can roll the market forward, and all it does is just, you see how this says MNQ5? If I was to roll it backwards and it changes to MNQ, all you're essentially doing is moving to the next session of the market, like the next process of the market, which there's barely volumes in there and there's already people trading in there. What you want to always make sure you stay in the current market that is going on, because there is a lot of volume. If you look right here where I'm hovering, there's a lot of volume in the market, but if I was to roll it forward, there's less volume, so not a lot of trades could happen. So I'm gonna left click and click and drag on the chart that I want to create. I'm gonna use the S&P 500, the micro S&P 500 as an example. And when you do end up getting there, this is what you're gonna see. Now I'm gonna create a chart for every single one of these markets. Boom. Now that I've created them, I don't like my screen like this. I don't like the performance positions and the orders to be on one side of my screen and then the market below, and I can barely see the chart. So what I'd end up doing, I'll click and drag the order and click and drag the position and put it next to orders, and click and drag performance center and put it next to positions, and you get this. Boom. Now, the next step would be is the type of graph you're looking at right now is a it's called a bar graph. I don't use a bar graph personally, but other people use it and they're comfortable and they understand how bar works and they make things happen. They make the magic happen. So what I personally use is Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. That's what I'm mostly comfortable with. That's what, once again, that's what I've if I didn't mention this, but I ever since I be watching his videos, Juve. Ever since Juve introduced, Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, I've used it, fell in love with it. I've also dabbled, with candlesticks. Like I went out of my way just to see how each and every one of these would look like. For some reason, every time I use the point and figure chart, it always makes my computer lag. And then there's Renko. Renkos, I don't even use them. It's like triangles on top of, triangles. Then the next one would be Heikin-Ashi, which I showed you all earlier, a couple of seconds ago. And then there's the bid volume. This one, I don't even understand how to even use this. It's professionals use these. If you know what's going on, you can see the volume of each and everything. That's on you. Then there's the traditional one, which is line. If you're still using line in 2025, GG's. Only people I know that uses this is probably like the ones that already made it, people that are comfortable with that type of system. And then bar, which was the first thing you seen, and then candlestick. But what I personally use is Heikin-Ashi. So the next thing I personally do is I don't like seeing this right here. I don't like seeing the grid behind it, so I would click on the square right here and then remove the grid, and it's just black on the back, and then your candles in front of you. And this blue line that you see right here, it's called a SMA, I think. Yeah, SMA. And I don't really use the SMA, but if you guys would like me to go in further details and the indicators, and that's for another video and another time. But as of right now, I'm gonna take it out the chart, and over here is your settings. Your current position would be, if you what's an example I could use, MNQ. If I go over here, this blue line right here is my current position. That's what the current position is. Now fills, orders, and order line, show fills, and show trade lines, show all, hide all that is if I click on all of them in a live market, you would see triangles, a blue and an orange triangle, and a trend, like the trade line. If you was to get stopped out, it will show you what you're getting stopped out as, and it'll show you how much you made and lose. That is as far as that goes. This right here, so open price, high price, low price, middle price. When I show all, they all have their own color coded version. High price is this green line. The blue price, that's you can change the this color scheme of it. I keep green and red as high price and low price. Now blue price is the open line. So essentially what that is whenever market opens at 6 p.m. or 4 a.m. for the London session, and 9:30 a.m. for, or 9:30 for the New York session, the blue line will change depending on like when market opens. But market opens at a specific time, and the blue line will let you know what price level market opened at. And you can mess around and change it. I have it as the deep blue, and then the middle, this is the middle price, like where price is at, as you know, it fluctuates up and down. And I think I have this as white or no, I have it as orange on my default. So I save it, boom, zoomed out. Oh, where are they? Oh, I didn't save them. Okay, enable all of them. Okay, boom, there you go. Now the next thing I will show you is the day volume profit. What that is essentially is, if you have this subscription on it, it will show you like the levels of volume on the right side of your screen, and it will show you red and green, like how much volume is being put into a candlestick. The next one would be is to go to current bar. All it's doing is bringing you to the current bar. Then there's the auto fit. All auto fit is doing, every time you move the chart, it's not working. Every time you move the chart, it brings you. Oh, it's not working. Okay. Okay. So, it's off. So when it's on, every time you move the chart, it brings you. You know, it just fits the screen. It just brings you. It just fits the screen. I have it on because I like the freedom of, you know, if I was to toss it around and move it like this, I want to be able to like focus on the screen, wherever I want it to be focused on. And then color scheme, you can change the background of this. For the purpose of the video, I'm gonna do this. Boom, you can have it like this. You can do dark, and you can do light, save, bring you back here. All you do is just change the color scheme, but I just keep it as, I never seen this one before. Okay, that's brand new. Okay, I never used this one before. But for the most part, I like my screen dark. And I've shown y'all the chart type settings. Now the time frame. This right here, you can see the time frame for the day. Each candlestick represents a, like for this one, well, forever, whatever this is. This right here is a, you know, for a candlestick, it just represents one day. Now when you go down further down, 1 hour time frame, each and every single of these candles represents an hour. And you go to the 30, each and every single of these candles represents 30 minutes, 15. Same thing. If I was to go to the 5 minutes, you get the concept. Each of these will be worth 5 minutes, 1 minute. Each of these will worth 1 minute. Each of these bars will worth 1 minute. And then you have your zoom out, your zoom in. Now, when I used to dabble with this, I used to think the zoom in button never works. Essentially, what the zoom in does is, let's say you want to focus on a specific area, you click the zoom in button, then you click on the screen, and you draw where you want to focus on, and it brings you there. That's what the zoom in button does. And when you want to zoom back out, you just press the zoom back out. Now, this is what this section of this video, I would call it extra credit. I like to go above and beyond and change the color of the market. I don't know. I'm kind of like OCD sometimes, if that's even a thing. Yeah, I'm kind of OCD sometimes. So I'll have, you know, I'll color my joints from red to green, blue. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And then but yeah, essentially that's the tutorial for the platform that I use. Yes, if you have any questions or any suggestions, or just pop it down in the comment, let me know. We've come close to the end of the video. If you like the video, thumbs up. You can subscribe if you feel like subscribing. But see you till the next video. Thank you for watching.